You received £17,500 around your 18th birthday. What you then did, sir, was remarkable, because lots of 18-year-olds would have blown it. What did you do with the money?
I saved it and invested in my musical career to stabilise my life and support myself while I busked.
There are you busking. You bought yourself a new guitar, correct?
Yes, Judge.
You put the rest of it away with a view to keeping it either for a rainy day or for you in due course perhaps to use as a deposit on a house, correct?
Yes, Judge.
On or around that time, on the 11th of January, you received a telephone call from Shannon, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Tell me about that telephone call. What did Shannon complain about?
She complained that there were bailiffs over her house and that her car was going to be repossessed if she couldn't pay them the specific amount of money they had set.
She asked you for the money. You were not satisfied at that stage that you were just going to hand over a significant portion of your compensation, which was the only pot you had, correct?
Correct, Judge.
What evidence did you ask for from Shannon?
I believe I asked her to provide documentation that the bailiffs had brought over to prove that it was that specific amount of money.
Why did you want evidence? What were you worried about?
Shannon would constantly ask for money and would often phone people crying, saying that she was in dire need of money, and then use that money, but didn't further her cause.
Was it 780?
Yes.
I believe it was, and I've seen that relevant evidence. Now, that wasn't the beginning and the end of it. And this is where, I'm afraid to say, sir, it gets a little bit difficult in your case, and I'm very troubled from a legal point of view. Did you lend her the £780?
I did indeed, Judge.
Now, you didn't just lend her the £780. As I understand it, there was a further sum included in the money that you extended to her. How much?
I added £70 interest on the £100 she already owed me.
Do you accept that you had previously borrowed £100?
He babysat my son and charged me for that, so it's not really, I didn't owe him money.
The answer is no.
No.
I do not accept that I owe £100. 780, no problem. She says that was for babysitting. It's a gift. It's what families do for each other, especially families that have been through such profound crisis. Second thing you say you're entitled to, in addition to that 100, is interest on the fact that she hadn't paid you that £100. What interest? What proportion? What percentage?
Technically, it was 70% interest.
70% interest? On what?
She had owed me this money for over a year and had slowly... It was initially a higher sum, but she had only paid £50 off.
So you were retrospectively allowed, you say, as a matter of law, to say, well, as you owe me £100, I'm now going to charge you 70% interest on the capital sum that I extended you in the first place. Are you a payday loan company?
No, Judge.
I think it's stupid, to be honest. I'm his sister. Like I said, he's not a loan shark, but that's my brother for you. Anything he can do to get his money. He forgets, like, he helped me when I needed him. I'm not disputing that, but when he went through a tough time with his dog, it might just be a dog to you lot, but his dog died, and I paid for his ashes. Not his dad, not anyone that he was living with, it was me. But I didn't ask him for that money back.
She did not pay for the ashes. She lent the money for the ashes. In return, I would pay her back later on when I had my money.
You're here today to sue for three sums. £780 for the bailiff loan, £100 for a previous amount, and £70 for interest. Where is the written contract between you and your sister? The answer is there is not one.
Not as far as I know, Judge.
What do you mean not as far as you know? You know that there's not. What there is are text messages. In other words, I'm supposed to rely on communication between the two of you to come to a conclusion that this is an enforceable contract. All that is an acknowledgement, as far as she's concerned, that at some point she will pay you. But it's not a contract. Contract needs to be written at the time that the money is handed over. She signs it, and she gives some indication of when the debt is due. Why not put it in writing if it was important?
It was done very briefly and very quickly, and so there wasn't time to go over to Wales to write down paperwork.
Casey, Shannon, I'm going to give a ruling now. By the narrowest margin, I am satisfied, by virtue of looking at the text messages as a whole, that Shannon knew that this was an enforceable agreement. You're entitled to the £780 for the bailiff loan, and I award you that full sum. I'm also satisfied that at the time she agreed to pay back the previous £100. So I add that to the sum, and that's your total award of £880. Sir, you are not entitled retrospectively, that means to go back into the past and charge interest ever. You shouldn't do it with family anyway, but the point that's very important for you to understand is if you're going to lend somebody money with interest, they have to absolutely understand what that interest is at the time they take the money. Got it?
Yes, Judge.
Consequently, your application for interest is dismissed and this court awards you £880. That's the money. The sad part is you've had a lot of breakdown, a lot of tragedy and a lot of pain in this family. And it's exacerbated by money. Now, I can't begin to repair this situation. You've got your money. But it's incredibly sad that the two of you are not speaking, aren't as close as you have been. It's up to you. Do you want a relationship with her or not?
I'm not entirely certain, Judge.
That's a matter for you. £880. Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.